Well, a few weeks ago I thought I was done making cell builders for the year, but we just picked up a few artificially inseminated breeder queens from Shabu Raj over in Tennessee. So we're going to go ahead and use them, do a few rounds here, midsummer, late summer. So these two are set up. John and Selena are looking for queens, got a couple more. I think we're going to set up 5 cell builders today. Might give us a couple hundred cells to work with next week. So one of the breeder queens is a Carniolan, a daughter of an artificially inseminated Latshaw breeder queen. That would be from Joe Latshaw. He does a good job with his breeder queens, Latshaw apiaries. And in the beginning, when I first started getting Caucasian, I had to do it this way. I got them from Sue Kobe. She was bringing semen over from the Republic of Georgia and didn't have any Caucasian queens, so I was getting Carniolans inseminated with Caucasians. At that time, it was the New World Carniolans, which are good bees. But Joe Latshaw has really good Carniolans too, and that's what we got going on here. Carniolan queen inseminated with Caucasian semen. And then this one right here is a kind of hard to read in the shade. Let's see. So that's a Caucasian daughter inseminated with Caucasian semen. So this is Caucasian by Caucasian. And both sides came from the university, or Washington State University, I should say. That's where Sue used to work. Steve Shepard has been doing it lately, getting the semen out of Georgia. So 2 brand new breeder queens. Did you guys find that queen?
Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're just trying to find some bees to shake in.
Yeah, that'll be a good cell builder. It's already packed with bees. John's going to shake in a few more frames. The first person I heard say this was Sue Kobe. She said the very best cell builders are overflowing with bees, and I found that to be true. You can build cells with cell builders that aren't packed with bees, but it works better if they're really packed. So that's what we do. Brother Adam said the same thing in his book Beekeeping at Buckfast Abbey. He was of the opinion that overcrowding made the best cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good cell builder. So we're building them today. It's Monday. Jesse will graft tomorrow, which is Tuesday. That makes the cells ready to install not this Friday, but next Friday. We'll harvest them not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, put them in an incubator so no shenanigans occur. Keep the cells safe. And we'll build nucs on Thursday, Friday, put the cells in on Friday. Making some more nucs. Taking some good double deep colonies after the honey flows over and knocking them back to a single. Singles left with 2 frames of brood and a lot of food. I won't need to feed these anytime soon. And then all the nucs are being made with 2 frames of brood and food. There's no foundation involved here because every frame is full of something, either brood or food. These nucs are turning out fat and sassy, lots of food, plenty of brood. Should be good nucs. And then the single story mother colony has time to grow up and be a good strong single for winter too. Today's date is July 24th. The Sourwood Supers are coming off right now. We're putting them on the truck as we work, and we're splitting the colonies. Okay, all good. All of the colonies are queenless. Leaving some extra nucs here to fix duds in case some of them don't make it. All of this stuff's going to get a queen cell. Got a bunch of nucs on the truck that are going to go to another yard. And we will be back tomorrow with queen cells. The nucs that are being left behind, we stuffed green grass in the entrance. And it'll kind of wilt overnight, and they'll be able to get their way out of there by tomorrow morning. And shook a lot of bees in them. Probably shook 3 or 4 frames of extra bees in those nucs, knowing that a lot of the bees are going to go home. Nucs are packed. They're 2.5 frames of brood, and the rest is solid food, so they're in good condition. Same with the colonies. Colonies are full of brood, or excuse me, full of food, and then 2 frames of brood, so they're in good shape too. This is a tight little nuc yard, but it actually works pretty good. We get pretty good mating here, historically. All we have on the ground is 4-foot sections of landscape timber, inexpensive landscape timber like the kind you get at the hardware store. Every other nuc is facing the other direction. Just came in, just setting them down. This is right next to our cell builder yard. We got another bee yard about a 1/4 mile from here. It should have ample drone stock here. So what we got going on here is our carniolan queen inseminated with Caucasian semen mating with golden west bees. That's what's going to happen here. And we made these nucs stout because they got to be ready for winter. And it's already the end of July. And everybody who makes it should be a good 5-frame nuc going into winter. This is actually a good overwintering spot too. People keep saying, "Where's Jesse? I never see Jesse anymore." Well, Jesse's been doing the cell building, and he just finished the last ones of the season. We are not doing any more this year. I wasn't even going to have him do these, but we got some new breeders from Cebu, and we had to do some. So he grafted 225, and he had a take of 204. I'd say that's pretty good for this time of year. So we use these wooden blocks to carry our cells in, and there's several ways of doing that. We like these. Sometimes we use the cell protectors, sometimes we don't. When we put them down in the brood on a cold day, sometimes we prefer the cell protectors because these little spiky things help hold them in the comb better. If you're just putting them down between the top bars, a little less necessary, and that may be what we do today because it is warm. Not worried about chilling at all. So he keeps moist sponges in here. Try to keep the humidity good. And
I keep some extra instruments in there to measure the temperature and humidity. I try to keep the temperature between like 92 and 93.
Yeah, humidity just needs to be above 50%. But these things are pretty good, but we don't trust them. Every once in a while, one of them will give you a false reading, so we like to keep the separate gauge in there to double check. Yeah, I'd say 204 out of 225. That's a good take, especially for this time of year. You know, they're not really motivated to build queen cells in the middle of summer. We'll be taking those out today. John's making a tote of sugar syrup up. We're going to begin feeding again some of these nucs and stuff that we're making. So we haven't had to feed for a while, but got to get back to it.
These are going to make great overwinter nucs here.
These are going to make good overwinter nucs, yeah. Thanks. We're back to feeding sugar syrup. 1-to-1 with some Hive Alive and some Apis biologics in it. Trying to make good stuff. Go ahead, John, fill her up. We have to clean this pump out each time. It has a ceramic seal in it, and if it's left full of sugar water, it can kind of screw up that seal. We have to clean the pump out with warm water after every time. John's making a mess. You're making a mess just for the camera. I like it.
I know. This is how it really happens.
This is yeah. Let's keep it real, right?
Yeah, this is that's what we got this for.
You gotta keep this sugar syrup cleaned off the floor. Here's what happens if you don't. Sugar syrup eats concrete. Honey eats concrete. I never would have guessed sugar syrup does too, but it sure does. So if we leave little puddles of sugar syrup right here, that's what happens. And we do seal this floor probably twice a year. It's just sugar syrup is just rough on a floor. So we just split this yard to pieces yesterday. Same routine, 2 frames of brood. And this yard will hold a lot more colonies than what's in here. And it's a great overwintering yard because I'm facing north right now. It has a good wind break. The woods break the wind in the winter when we get those cold Arctic blasts. And we will fill this yard with other nucs that we've been making too.
Right there. Be out of the way of the jar, but still in the bees.
Yeah. We only need a good 5 frames of bees to get through the winter in this location. With a brand new young queen, 5 frames of bees. I think we're going to make it with what I'm seeing. I think there's enough bees and brood there to be ready on time.
Okay.
In warm weather, we just slip the cell down between the frames right in the middle of the brood. In cold weather, we like to use those cell protectors because these little thingies, you can put them in the comb and it won't fall down. But in warm weather, we just set it right there and there's no issue. And it's plenty warm. There's no danger of that cell chilling.
Yeah.
In fact, you kind of got to be careful. If it's super hot, you can actually cook the cell up that close to the lid.
Really?
This is a good day, though. It's only 85 degrees, and I don't think we're in danger of doing that.
Okay.
So it's actually a good day for putting cells in.
So it could just like melt off of the cup?
Well, it can overheat the cell if these lids get hot.
Yes. Okay.
Like that's pretty warm to the touch right now. That's more than 85 degrees. I don't know what it is, but it's warm. So if it was a 95 or 100 degree day and you put that cell right under the lid, you could overheat it and kill it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a good day for putting cells in. 85 degrees, sun's kind of coming and going. It's actually perfect.
Yeah.
And they're just going to hatch in 12 hours or something.
Right.
So
Yeah, we don't need long.
yeah, they're pretty tough at this point.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're going to bring back a bunch of nucs here. When all of this mating's done, we're going to fill this yard for the winter. This is a great overwinter yard. You know, we got the north wind break right there. Completely stops that.
Yeah.
Good drainage. We're kind of up on a knoll here. Got the creek right down there with the water.
That's where your yard used to be. When
Yeah, I used to have the yard down there in that bottom, and it was problematic. We had a huge hive beetle problem right down there because that soil's always a little bit moist.
Yeah, we couldn't even get to it a couple times. We had
Yeah.
to start the driveway. We couldn't drive.
Remember
out
how
there.
many hive beetles we used to have down there?
Yeah,
You remember that?
yeah.
But up here, we don't have any hive beetles.
No,
And it's
that's
just,
not
what do we do? Come up 25, 30 feet in elevation up on this little dry spot, and suddenly we never see a hive beetle anymore. Simple as that.
Yeah.
This is a great spot, but I don't know, I haven't counted here. I think we can get 50 colonies in here or something like that for the winter. It looks like we need to replace some of our landscape timbers, John, and
Yeah, there's
they've been here a while. It's time
that one
to,
right there
I
is
think it's
like,
time to throw some in the dumpster. Yeah. Some of these boxes aren't the greatest either. I was just telling Cody today that it's nice to recycle equipment too. Some of these boxes are quite old. You see that box right there, that gray one? That box is almost 30 years old. That's one of my old originals from the mid-90s, yeah. They're almost all gone. I see a couple in this yard.
It's solid though.
It's solid. Well, it was dipped in copper naphthenate and linseed oil, so there's no rot at all.
You can tell.
And I don't know why they ended up all in one spot, but I see 1, 2, 3, then this one 4.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there's 4 of my old boxes in this one yard, and They're almost all gone now, but not because they rotted. It's because they just wore out or got sold or something.
Yeah.
And that brown one there is looking a little ragged, but it's not rotten.
No, it's not rotten.
Yeah.
The paint might look ugly, but
The box, that box has probably outlasted 2 or 3 bottom boards, to be real honest.
yeah.
Oh.
That's cool.
Okay, on to the next yard.
Okay.
I was being questioned about the grass in the entrance by one of the guys helping, and this is what it looks like the next morning. It's wilted. They've pushed a lot of it out. So it's a really good way to keep them from getting robbed until they get their own defense going. And we put a lot of bees in these things, so let's see what stayed home. Yeah, a lot of bees stayed. And the other good thing is those will all be young bees too. Uh-oh, that one didn't, somebody didn't shake. You know, tell people what to do, but they don't always do it. That one looks okay. That one doesn't have as many bees as I would have liked, but what we'll do after they're done mating and they get established, we can equalize. Yep. And put some cells in here, and no feeding necessary in this spot. Lots of food was left behind. Some of these singles will have a lot of bees in them, which not great for cell acceptance or queen acceptance or whatever you happen to be doing. It's not too full. Okay. Okay, that looks good. We just split this yard up yesterday. It was a very small yard. It's only 12 colonies. I was here to pollinate a field of strawberries early in the season for a friend of mine. And we have to move it because they've planted squash. Those little baby squash plants, when they start flowering, this is going to be dangerous because they're going to be spraying it out there. So we just split it all the way down and just left a nuke box here and took a bunch of nukes away. That'll make it much easier to move. And we can't actually move them immediately, so we're putting queen cells in here today, which are meant to hatch here soon. And we'll come back probably in about 2 or 3 days and move them. The virgin will have hatched by then. And we're going to give them a jar of sugar syrup in the meantime because they're not very heavy. They were single-story colonies and they were full of brood and didn't have much food, which really surprised me because usually this time of year the bees are starting to slow down as far as brood rearing. I think it was a pollen thing. In this location we have wing stem blooming, starting to bloom, pollen coming in, and that is the most stimulative thing for brood rearing is incoming fresh pollen. That might be part of it. Anyway, we got a bunch of nukes out of this little yard. I was very surprised. So, cells, jar of food, and we'll come back in a few days and move them out of here.